I love the way the First Gen Lounge makes me feel.
Because it creates a space where I belong.
Where we're able to create community.
The fact that it's a community.
It's a safe place.
It also gives me a place to understand different perspectives.
The stories of these individuals prescribe transformational perspective.
I receive encouragement, enlightenment, empowerment.
And also serve as a catalyst to just keep going.
Where we're able to be our true selves.
I'm allowed to be an unapologetic first gen.
And above all else, tell our story.
And every episode is unique.
I love it.
I'm your host, Dr. Eve, and I'd like to welcome you to the First Gen Lounge. Hey, y'all. Hey. Listen, lately I have been actually stuck on Good Morning and Great Day. It's just sitting with my spirit. It has been feeling good to me, so don't be surprised if you start hearing that from me over here too. But look, if you are new here, look, I just welcomed you right on in, okay? Because we family around here. So I'm glad that you decided to join us today. I had a moment recently. I'm trying not to do it right. I'm not gonna keep you long. Well, listen, I had a moment where an offer was made to me and I was like, no, I'm not interested. And I said it and I didn't feel bad about it. I wasn't trying to figure, how to be nice about it. And I don't believe I said it in a nasty way, right? I was like, oh, no, thank you. I'm not interested. But I remember there was a point in my life where I wouldn't say that, or I would try to make space to be interested, even slightly, to keep from hurting a person's feelings, or for not thinking that I'm a bad person or I'm being mean. And it hit me that I had evolved to be more assertive. And I don't know when it happened, but I'm glad that it happened, because I don't think there's anything wrong with being assertive. And I think that for a number of people, being assertive, especially for the people who are we're nice people. So for people who are nice people and people pleasers, being assertive can be challenging because of how we may, feel about being perceived. We don't want to be anything but nice. We don't want people to feel anything other than good about us. I want to say that entrepreneurship has definitely challenged me to grow in this area, and to really have to do more to self-advocate and to set boundaries or what have you, but to really say, this is where I'm at and this is how I feel, and no, I'm not going to get pushed over. So I was thinking today that I want to, sit with you for just a moment and share at least 3 tips that I think can help you if you, working with it or trying to figure it out, just become more assertive. Because what I know at this point in my life is that being assertive does not mean that you are mean. So the first thing I would say to being more assertive is to start small. The thing about starting small is that it gives you an opportunity to practice for more difficult, more challenging, and or bigger situations that you may be faced with. So what would be an example of starting small? Let's say you may go to a place and, really good example. Let's say you go to a fair, or you go to a food truck rodeo, somewhere where people are selling stuff, right? A festival. And while you're there, people are like, hey, you want this, you want this. Some people will try to ignore that person, but it's kind of no, thank you. So something as simple as saying no, thank you, or I appreciate it, but not now, is one of those ways to be assertive. And you don't even realize, even if you pay attention to that and you say, oh, okay, I did good today, right? I was able to say no to this, and the other thing is not harbor of the fact that I said no to this, or I was no, thank you. And the thing about being assertive, and even in starting small, is that you don't have to be mean to be assertive. I just really want to make that clear, because I think sometimes when we think about assertiveness, we think about meanness, especially when, again, we're nice people. So to say no, thank you, or not today, but I appreciate it, but I'm good, is a form of being assertive. Then I'm sure there'll be other things that come up over time, right? That'll happen where you find yourself in a situation I'm not even interested, I ain't feeling this, I ain't gonna do this, I don't want this. And because you have a history now of being able to say, I'm good, then you can also muster up the nerve in these more difficult, or let's say bigger situations, to be able to be no, I'm good, I'm thank you, I'm straight, not interested. And not interested may not even feel as aggressive to you as no, because even the idea of saying no, and no is also a way of being assertive by saying no. That's assertive, but you have to find what feels good to you. And so again, just start small, take baby steps, and pay attention to you doing things to be more assertive so that you can build up that confidence in being able to do so. Another thing I would say in terms of being assertive is to believe in yourself. And you may be like, what does believing in myself have to do with assertiveness, right? I mean, I would say everything, because believing in yourself means that, like, I know that I'm a solid person. I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm a thoughtful person, a kind person, like all these things, especially again for us who are people pleasers. But believing in yourself ends up being that just because I may have said no, or I may have set this boundary, I may not have been interested, I may have had to, draw a line. Again, it doesn't make me a bad person. And I know and fully believe that about myself, in spite of what somebody else may think based off of that interaction. Because again, as a people pleaser, as a nice person, the worry ends up coming from, oh my gosh, what does somebody else think? But like, nah, I wholeheartedly believe that I'm good people. And just because I'm not interested or don't want it, or I'm like, don't cross this boundary, doesn't mean that I'm not a good person. It just means that I'm also self-aware, and I trust my decisions in this interaction, and that it's all good. So to be able to exude confidence. But going back to what I just said recently, whenever you start small and you continue to do that thing and you take note of it, you build up that confidence. And the more you do that, the more you're going to believe in yourself, and being able to be also assertive in the right situations, or know how to be assertive in all situations, rather. Because the truth of the matter is, not every situation that you're going to find yourself in for what you are going to require a little bit more assertiveness is going to be one that's going to be comfortable, or like the festival. It may be something that's happening in your business, or something that's happening at work, or something that's happening while in school. But the thing is that you got this. Like, you're going to be able to know how you want to handle yourself, but again, have the confidence in knowing that how I've handled it is good and it was right, and like, I ain't tripping. Now, the last thing is pretty Issa Rae-ish, but definitely helpful. And I say this to people that I'm working with, who want to be speakers, in terms of even building their own confidence and getting comfortable in their skin. And that's be in the mirror and practice saying things to yourself in the mirror. So just how she used to do, brushing your teeth and getting ready to go to work, or getting ready to go out and putting on makeup, getting ready, if you shaving, whatever you're doing, just simply practice with yourself. Something that I've even done, like, hey, no, I'm not available today. Hey, no, I'm not interested. Thank you for considering me, but now is not a good time. And sometimes I'll be walking around the house and doing the same thing, right? Just saying stuff out loud, because even hearing myself and saying it, I become familiar with it. And then it's like, here's a moment to say it, and it's like, boom. And then in my head, I clap myself up, like, oop, I just did that. But I'm at a point, in a lot of situations where I don't have to do that. Because it's kind of like, again, I recognize I'm not a bad person because I say no, or set a boundary, or that I assert myself, or that I speak up for myself. Because self-advocacy is really important, especially as first-generation scholars and professionals, right? And learning how to speak up and use our voice to be able to navigate life is a critical skill to have. And that assertiveness definitely comes in handy. But again, everybody not gonna like you. Everybody don't like me. And to be okay with that, again, makes room for me to be more assertive. But then it's all the other things that I'm doing daily to build that assertive muscle, which, is something for you to do as well, just in your own journey to being more assertive. And then also the other thing I'm going to add to that is, as you're practicing and you're saying, no, not today, hey, no, I'm not interested, also thinking about not having to justify or explain yourself to make you feel more confident in what you're doing too, because we want to explain away or give, all this rhyme and reason and rationale. But one of those things is like, my no is my no, or my yes is my yes. I made the decision, and you don't honestly owe anybody explanation. But again, how you come across and how you share things, or how you communicate rather, that's for you to decide what feels best for you. So even for me, I've had to find that good rhythm of, hey, do you want to go to dinner? Hey, I think I'm going to pass today, but I appreciate you for thinking about me. And I don't have to go into, hey, I think I'm going to pass because I don't want to drive all that far. But the thing is, even with the answer that you give, that maybe say, hey, I'm not interested, or hey, maybe not right now. Hey, let me take a rain check and get back to you later. Whatever that is, you still are giving that person an answer without explaining yourself away. I think sometimes when we tend to do that, especially as people pleasers, again, it goes back to I don't want them to be mad or don't want them to look at me negatively. 9 out of 10, that person won't, or they're probably not even thinking that much about it. And so what I don't want for you is to, drive yourself insane, thinking about all the things that the other person ain't even thinking about because they didn't go on with their life. So that's just what it is. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. But this has been, an exciting conversation to have, and one that is different for me because, again, it's these interpersonal skills that we're building. And sometimes, especially for me, I recognize stuff has happened or I've evolved in ways, but I may not always be like, dang, that just happened. Like, dang, that just happened. And sometimes it takes me sitting and thinking about something and laughing at it. That makes me say, oh, dang, I have come a long way with that. So continue to be patient with yourself, on your own journey. And as you are processing things and figuring out how you want to navigate life, how you want to show up, who and how you want to be, like all of it is absolutely fine, right? And just continue to trust yourself and trust your process, and remember that you are always where you need to be, when you need to be, however you need to be. So you don't have to force yourself to be anything or anywhere else other than where you are right now. Keep blossoming and growing as you. And before I go, there are just a few things that I would like to ask of you, right? Because you don't get what you don't ask for. If you enjoyed this, share this with somebody or somebodies that you know who may be able to appreciate just the thoughts and the wisdom that are shared today. Don't forget to go check out the First Gen Shop, a first of its kind store created to continue to empower us across the globe to just really show up and be very proud of who we are as first generation scholars and professionals. And if you are looking to, do some more personal growth and development, be it that it's centered around, like just yourself or it's business, don't forget to go check out First Generation University. It's going up and down over there. Okay. It's just a great thing that is evolving, finally, being able to breathe life into this. And I'm absolutely looking forward to the lives that will continue to change because of the work that is being done through First Generation University and just the Evangeline Worldwide platform as a whole. But really, really go check everything out. And that's all I got for real. So know that I love you and I want you to keep doing what? Fill in the blank. You know what the blank is. Keep pressing forward. All right. Till next time. Peace.